Hi, this is Paul Rogers, and remember, you heard it on the Axe.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to the East Coast Premier Music Talk Show. Paul Rogers is great.
Yeah, and another guy who's just done everything in his career.
Yeah, just amazingly talented. And like you say, he just doesn't stop working. I mean, we're talking about people in their 60s.
Yeah, and like you said, he's played with Jimmy Page. He's played with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
The Firm was huge. Free was huge. I mean, Bad Company. He did that tour with Queen. I mean, he's done everything.
I like how he talks about Jimmy Page as Pagey.
Yeah.
Just hanging with Pagey. I love that. We're joined right now by Bob Avino. Bob, you on the phone, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Rich?
Not a thing, buddy. What's going on with you, man?
Not much. Just waiting for you guys to call, and a great interview with Paul Rogers.
Yeah, good guy. We wanted to have Ezekiel on with us this week. We're going to have him on in a couple weeks. Bison's baseball is going to take us off next week, so we had to cram a bunch of shows into one show. The boys from Ezekiel got something big going on. Is that Forestville, where Doug's Winery is?
It's actually Silver Creek.
Is it Silver Creek? Okay.
Yep.
Over at Willow Creek Winery, which is so hard to say when you're on the air. Willow Creek Winery. Is that?
Believe me, I said it like 3 times. I screwed up like 3 or 4 times on stage. Kept saying "queek."
Yeah. You sound like Elmer Fudd when you say it. So tell me what's going on. What is going on with this?
Well, it's an event called Rockin' the Grapes Festival. We started it last year. It was kind of based around kind of like a hard rock festival based around the guys from Ezekiel. And this year we're going to have 5 bands. So it's going to be Ezekiel, 2 Minutes to Maiden, Sucker Punch, Chillin' Sun, and Sawdog. And it's $15, $20 at the gate, and it's all day partying and great music, and then free camping overnight. And it's just next Saturday, the 16th. Gates are at 2 o'clock.
And Willow Creek is a really cool venue. It's such a cool place. Doug's done a great job there, and it's got a beautiful stage built in the middle of this picturesque field. It's just really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a very, very scenic site to see a concert. A huge stage. He's invested a lot of money into the property, and he's a great, great guy. Just, we're hoping to really expand to make people a little bit more aware of that venue because, man, once you go there and you see it, it is just gorgeous,
It is. And so we got Sucker Punch. Those are great guys. You got a bunch of guys on the bill. And, of course, the legendary Ezekiel.
Yeah. So it's a good time. We had a great time last year. We had about 400 people last year. We're hoping looks like we're going to have quite a bit more this year. So just hoping the weather's going to hold out and we're going to have some fun. And
what time does the band start?
Gates are 2. The bands start at 3 and play right till about 11:30, and then the party starts.
And then Facebook, is there a Facebook page for this, or just go to Ezekiel's?
Yeah, there is a Facebook page for Rockin' the Grapes Festival. You can find that on Facebook. It'll give you information on that and all the acts and everything.
Okay, so we got Facebook.com/RockinTheGrapes. And it's, one more time, the date on it is?
That's Saturday, July 16th. Gates at 2, first band at 3.
All right, so it sounds like the place to be.
Yeah, it's a party. It's a party.
We're going to try to make it out and join you guys and have some fun. And I appreciate you calling in, and we're going to get the boys in the studio in the next couple weeks, okay?
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
The guys from Ezekiel are such good guys, too. They're just really, really good guys.
And as we were talking earlier, just so many events and festivals and everything going around. This month especially.
Well, even like yesterday, because we were out in Tonawanda. Mm-hmm. The Rich and Famous Band was out in Tonawanda. I want to remind everybody, too, if you like rock and roll, if you just like roots rock and roll based on Bo Diddley and Chuck Berry and stuff, get out and see the Rich and Famous Band. I'm real lucky to play with the guys that I play with. They're absolutely wonderful. I want to say hello to Lee Frost, too, who was out there.
Did he show up?
Oh, yeah, and I love Lee, and I know he listens to us, and I just want to say hello to him, and I just think he's a really, really wonderful guy. I'm lucky to play with the musicians that I play with, and the Rich and Famous Band is a great band and a great time. Wednesday, though, at Max, we kind of do this side thing, and it's Max Village Brew House in the village of Orchard Park. Yeah. We play outside.
It's become known as the three-ring...
Three-ring circus. I called it that a couple weeks ago because it is. It's ridiculous, is what it is.
It is. You guys are playing, but it's also like a comedy show.
It's scary. It's Dave Frost, Michael Hund, and myself. Conga Bob sits in. Pat Seguin sits in on saxophone. We've had a bunch of it. You yourself have sat in, for a while. Mm-hmm. It's Wednesday night, 7 to 10. And it's just so much fun. And I want to thank Scotty Clinton for letting us do it because it's just a ride. It really is a ride. Nobody's got arrested yet or anything. So
I know, I'm surprised. It's halfway through the summer almost, and you guys are still, no one has gotten arrested.
yeah, you know what? Too, if I had to bet, I'm going to bet on Hund. I'm going to bet
Yeah,
Hund will get
definitely
arrested.
Hund would get arrested, especially playing in Orchard Park like that.
If Hund gets arrested, I'm going to videotape it and put it on Facebook. It'd be great.
Oh, that's a flip video moment.
Yeah, that's. I also want to talk quickly about this Outer Harbor Festival.
This is going to be awesome.
This is really going to be cool. It's at the site where the old Shooters and the Pier used to be. It's July 28th through the 31st. There's rides, there's fireworks, there's going to be concerts, there's going to be games. They really are stressing the barbecue, so I'm assuming that it's going to be really, really good because it's right in the ad. Barbecue.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see the barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue. So we got bands like Beetle Magic. There's a Dave Matthews tribute band.
Yes.
Is it the Dave Matthews tribute band? Is that what it's called?
There's a couple Dave Matthews tribute bands out there. I think this one is just the one that's called Dave Matthews Tribute Band.
Okay. Ozone Rangers, Strictly Hip, Dreamland, Mo Porter, Hey You, and I've heard rumors that the legendary Fair Trade will be there.
Yes, the legendary Fair Trade will be there. So there's a couple tribute bands. There's a couple original bands. I know our good friend Mike Salerno and the River Rocks are going to be there.
Oh, that's really cool, man. It's just off Furman Boulevard. It's for the whole family. Starts, I think, 4 o'clock on Friday, Thursday and Friday.
And fireworks.
Fireworks. And then Saturday and Sunday, I think the whole shindig kicks off at 10 in the a.m. or 11.
It's going to be
I
really
would get
cool.
there at 10.
It's actually funny because before I knew about this, I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago, I was driving on the Skyway and I saw that open area.
Yeah.
And I mean, Dave Matthews Band is doing their caravan festivals this summer, and they're going to almost abandoned places, almost like that, where there used to be something like
yeah.
this weekend. They're actually at an old steel plant that shut down a long time ago, and they turned it into a concert or whatever. And I was like, that would be a cool place. I mean, it's not quite as big as where they're doing the caravan shows, but I was like, that would be a cool place to do a festival.
It's actually
and
pretty
then
big,
I found out
it's
that
bigger than you think.
Yeah, and then I found out like, wow, this is
Only in Western New York too. That probably was hands down the coolest waterfront bar ever.
Yeah,
And of course we get rid of that.
but yeah, it's going to be a blast.
That's a big area. though.
Rides and
Maybe you
stuff.
should do it at Bethlehem Steel.
Yeah, well, they had to burn down the buildings and such for the caravan shows.
I don't think you can walk on the Bethlehem Steel site, can you?
I know, the thing is, actually, I mean, I give Dave Matthews Band a lot of credit, too. I guess they're getting a lot of flack, because last month they did it at an abandoned airport in Atlantic City. I mean, that one turned out great. I guess there's been some problems with the actual site that they picked in Chicago, which was the old steel plant. I guess the ground didn't turn out as great as they thought it would be.
It's toxic.
I guess it's just like a dust bowl there.
Really?
I mean, the ground, they planted grass and stuff, but I guess it's turned into when you have thousands and thousands of people, it's like 60 acres, I guess. It's huge. I guess it's bigger than the whole downtown Chicago area. It's just outside Chicago, but I guess, the ground is getting pretty worn out on day 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Plus, it's probably toxic.
yeah, it probably
I'm
is.
sure it's toxic.
Everyone there is going to come home with some black lung.
Yeah. Or something worse.
No, we are just kidding, of course.
No, we're not. It's toxic.
No.
Okay.
Leave,
All right,
leave the
we're-
Dave Matthews
it's
Band alone.
fine.
They
It's
did
fine.
their best. They're trying to turn around areas of the country.
What planting grass on a steel plant? Come on.
No, they're trying to revive the economy in some portions of the country that need a boost.
I understand, and I think that that's really cool, and I think it's great that they're doing
I
this.
mean, they easily could have picked, Giant Stadium.
Yeah, well, I think it's cool
do
that they're
one,
doing that, but
or-
I mean, they're not. Once they're out of town, it goes back to being just a old abandoned steel plant.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, they did that Atlantic City one, and I guess after the shows, they donated. I forget the number, but it was a couple. I think it was like $50,000,
$50,000. I read
50
$50,000
grand
somewhere.
to the city on top of what the city already made.
Oh, well, that's
just
nice.
by having them. But let's get to music news. U2 just last week they're on that 360 tour, and one of their encores at a show in Nashville. Bono brought up a special guest. It was a blind man who was in the front row, who had a sign that said he wanted to play a song on guitar for his wife. So Bono brings the blind man on stage, gives him a guitar, and they played the song "All I Want Is You," and I guess the blind guitar player sounded very well.
Really?
Yeah, they brought up a blind guy.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That Bono, a couple weeks ago, Bono was hitching a ride. Remember,
Yeah.
that was a music news story. Bono's hitching a ride. Now he's bringing up blind people on stage.
That's pretty cool, though.
I'm surprised that the blind guy, like, I don't know, he had the sign. Who made the sign? They think that, I mean, he's trying to surprise his wife by playing a song, but you think that the wife made the sign?
I think it was a setup. I think the whole thing was a setup.
You think so?
One good thing is the Edge is a really bad guitar player, I think. So you don't have to be intimidated by the Edge, and he doesn't have to be intimidated by the crowd because he can't really see the crowd.
For him. We watched that movie.
It Might Get Loud.
It Might Get Loud, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you gave the Edge a lot of flack.
I think he's an interesting guitar player, but he's not very technically proficient.
Yeah, I don't think he's
he's
super great.
No,
he just does some weird effects.
I think he's really cool with delays and all that
he's got
stuff.
a lot
He
of
really
effects and
understands the
stuff.
electronic end of things.
Michelle Bachmann, a few weeks ago, at one of her rallies, played the Tom Petty song "American Girl."
Oh yeah, and Tom Petty was
and
upset.
Tom Petty asked her, please don't play the song. I guess she's continuing to play it. He sent her a cease and desist letter. She has just ignored it and continued to play Tom Petty's "American Girl." So now he is filing a case, and he's getting a lot of other musicians together, and he's fighting back. He doesn't want her playing his song.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, I know it happened with
politics.
Springsteen.
Reagan, I think it was Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, it was Reagan.
Born in the USA.
Played "Born in the USA," and I mean it happens almost every campaign. There's a tune that someone plays just on a whim, and then the person who wrote it's like, hey, don't play that.
Fleetwood Mac parlayed it into a whole reunion concert.
Yeah,
because it was Bill Clinton was playing.
Yeah, I remember
Don't Stop
that.
Thinking About Tomorrow.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was one of the more.
I think that
popular
was
ones.
like the catalyst, right, to get the whole thing back together. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure if it was.
They
but,
performed and everything.
Yeah, but I do remember. I forgot that was probably one of the more famous and popular cases of a politician playing a song. One last music news story. A couple months ago, I told you Mick Jagger was getting this super group together with him, Dave Stewart, Joss Stone, Damian Marley. The album is going to come out in September. The band is called Super Heavy. The first single is going to be called Miracle Worker, and it should be out within the next month or so. And as I stated, the album will be out in September.
It's funny that he's putting a super group together.
Yeah,
because his regular group is kind of a super group.
Yeah, his group is a super group. Is the super group, one of the greatest rock bands of all time.
The greatest rock and roll band ever.
And he needs to put together a super group. But I think it'll be cool. I don't know how it's going to work out. I mean, it's him, Joss Stone, like I said, Dave Stewart, Damian Marley. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll see.
It'll be pretty cool. I wonder if they're going to tour it. They're not going to. So the Stones aren't going to do a tour.
I don't know. All the talk was that the Stones were going to put a tour together that was going to start.
It's their 50th anniversary, I think.
Yeah, they were saying it was going to start, and this was back at the end of 2010. All the talk was that they would be on the road by the end of 2011 and take a tour through 2012. But, I mean, we still haven't heard any news on it.
Nothing. They're famous for that, though.
Yeah.
And then they'll do a really cool press conference from a blimp, or they do the coolest press conferences too. I mean, they're still so rock and roll. I wonder if Mick has enough horses to have that band open for a Stones tour.
For a Stones
I don't know
tour?
if he could do two in a row.
I don't know, but they usually get some pretty cool openers.
Really
Stones.
cool.
I mean, I know their last tour, half the tour was Pearl Jam, the other half was the Dave Matthews Band.
Dave Matthews, and then in San Francisco, Metallica opened for him in San Francisco. There were Tom Petty opened for one. I mean, please.
You could go. I know you could go see.
They have
the
headliners
Stones.
open.
Yeah, they
for
have
them,
headliners
right?
who could sell out that stadium by themselves.
I gotta say this really quick. That was the Bigger Bang tour, and I seen it down in Pittsburgh, and Pearl Jam opened for him. And you and I had seen Pearl Jam headlining their own tour, which I wasn't impressed with. I was super impressed when they opened for the Stones. Mm-hmm. They were incredible, and I kept thinking to myself, "Wow, how are the Stones going to come out in their 60s after these guys were tearing it up, Josh? They were so good." And it was like Eddie Vedder from
From
when
the early 90s.
Yeah,
when
when you
he's
used to see him
climbing
hanging
stuff.
on
Yeah,
stuff.
he's
I mean, he
climbing.
had so much energy, and the whole band had so much energy, and it was just really, really cool. And the Stones came out and started Satisfaction. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot they're the Stones.
Yeah,
so I mean, they are just an incredible live act, and I feel terrible for the Stones for all the live recordings that they have because none of them do them justice.
Yeah, they always come out. They never do justice. As you
Even the Scorsese film didn't do him justice, to be honest with you. All right, we're at the end of another show. I want to thank Brian McKnight. I want to thank Paul Rogers. I want to thank Bob and the boys from Ezekiel for calling in. I want to thank Ross Catalano from Back to Back Entertainment. We are off next week, so I'm going to sit in the sun. Hopefully there'll be some sun. And remember, folks, if you heard it on the X.